When people go through change, they pass through four predictable stages. First, because of the shock and surprise after hearing an unexpected news, they will deny and ignore change. A director in a global service center with 2,000 people heard that after 15 years of existence, they're being acquired by a much bigger competitor. In another case, one of the biggest players in the industry got acquired by a smaller entity. In another Fortune 500 company, which has an operations site here in Manila, a senior manager learned that they're leaving their office, their home in the past 10 years, to transfer to another location. What's common among these three? They all got the news on a Friday. They all left work on time that day, then spent the weekend going through their usual family routines. One even went on an out-of-town trip. In one-on-one interviews, all three confided to me, "I didn't think about the change yet. I want to forget about it, then process it first." You hear there's change, and you ask, "Is this really happening?" Days go by, and you act the same way, ignoring that there will be real change. We can initially try to ignore these big changes of office transfer or reorganization. Could you imagine how much easier it is to ignore small-scale changes of new policies, new processes, and new skills needed? Yes, some changes you can delay, but it finally comes, and it will stare at you right on your face. The news gets formally announced in a town hall meeting, then through email. When people can no longer ignore it, they may drag their feet and fight it to the best of their ability. Sometimes actively, sometimes passively. In a chain of small hotels, I discovered that some housekeeping staff have been intentionally damaging the mouse of the PC, then will report systems not responding, will go back to manual data entry. Decades back, when I was an HR manager, I announced management's decision to change the employees' uniform design. It was just changing the uniform for the following year. But the employees hated the idea so much, I even got hate text messages from anonymous numbers. You will see and feel the height of stakeholder emotions in this resistance stage. If you are unable to respond well, your change cookie crumbles. It comes to a point when people realize that their efforts to resist are useless. The world will move on without them. So they stop fighting the change. They start to ask questions and look at how they can make the change work for them. I loved my Nokia E71 smartphone so much. I had it for 3 years. It was easy for me to text while doing other things and not even looking at the QWERTY keypad. I ignored the touchscreen iPhone. How can I text on a flat screen while doing something else? How can I even text quickly on a smooth screen without the curves of the physical keypad? One day, I dropped and broke my E71. It broke my heart too. Grudgingly, I bought an iPhone. I didn't use it much for the first 3 days. Then I tried to explore it, tinkered with it. And much to my surprise, it was intuitive. It took just a day for me to learn how to type fast, using the touchscreen keypad. Many times, we really won't know unless we try. I've been a loyal iPhone user ever since. That's the stage of commitment. I'm not using any other brand regardless of what you say. Change leaders need to master this change curve. No one is exempted. Everyone goes through these 4 stages, one stage at a time. We all go through the curve, but each one has his or her own different pace. In a process change, one may quickly deny, "I'm not bothered. That process change won't even fly or last long." Another may already resist. "I don't understand why we have to change the process. I won't support it." A third person may already be exploring, what are the new details of this process? Maybe it will solve some of our current pain points. The last person could already be committed, having gone through the first 3 stages very quickly. Finally, we are upgrading to this best practice. Our goal is to get to commitment at the fastest possible time. For people managers, your goal is to lead your team members through the curve and up to commitment at the quickest way you can. John Kotter, one of the leading experts in organizational change, wrote, "The central issue in change is about changing the behavior of people. And behavior change happens in highly successful situations, mostly by speaking to people's feelings." We need to know what people are feeling, thinking, and doing in each stage of the curve. We need to know where people are in these 4 stages so we can help them move to the next. Check out your e-manual for the detailed list of descriptions, dialogues, and behaviors of people in each of these 4 stages.